Hello friends and welcome to the channel. Bob here, back with another video. So this is Shroud of the Avatar, and this video is going to be about taming. When I first started playing Shroud of the Avatar, taming, when I played Ultra Online, sort of Mage Tamer and Bard Tamer were my two kind of favourite characters to play. So I came into the game, Shroud of the Avatar, with the intention of being a tamer of some kind. But it didn't quite work out. Essentially, I think the problem is because, like much of the game, it's a really convoluted grind, and taming is a weird one because it's let's have a look at the trees here. Taming, it's a weird one, taming, because it requires it's not something you can come into the game really and just start straight away. It requires resources and tools to do, and that requires money. Whichever way you do it, you need to spend some time playing the game first before you start taming. I don't agree with that personally. It's not something that happens in other games. I don't quite know why taming is behind this wall. It's not as bad as it was. They recently made some. This is release 66. I think I recently made some changes to taming. But when I got into the game and realised it, the fact that taming is behind a bit of a paywall, an in-game paywall, I did find that quite frustrating. But I've now decided to give it a go. My character is experienced. I can afford to do it. I've got loads of XP to spend, so I'll put it into taming. So this. I'm kind of reluctant to call this a taming guide because I don't know anything about taming, basically. Excuse me. So I'm kind of starting from scratch. This is taming from scratch, and I'm going to do some videos showing you my progression and how I'm doing it, basically, and hopefully, maybe you'll get some tips from it. So basically, this video is going to be dealing with resources and taming tools or taming equipment, essentially. And the two things you need is a collar and a necklace. From what I can tell, the necklace is what contains the animal. So when you tame the animal, for you to get rid of it and recall it again, it's basically it's called a taming necklace. It used to be a whistle. I think it used to be a taming whistle or an animal whistle or something, I'm not sure. But you basically the recipe requires an animal whistles, but you basically use the taming necklace, essentially. You have to wear the taming necklace, I should say, and then when you tame an animal, you get the animal is, I think it's, from what I can tell, the animal is located in the I tamed a chicken earlier just to test it out. So this necklace contains the chicken, and I think if I wear that, I can then summon the chicken, essentially, which I won't do right now. But I think that's how it works. And the collar is required during the taming process. So I guess you're kind of putting the collar on the animal, and then the necklace absorbs the, I don't know. Maybe the animal kind of is around wherever it is, rather than it being contained in the necklace. And then when you blow the whistle, it kind of appears. Who knows? I'm not sure what the role-playing stuff is for it, but you need the collar as well. It's weird actually, because the necklaces don't seem to be a regainable item, whereas for the necklace, for the collars, there is a collar recovery. So there's a chance that you won't use the collar. I'm not quite sure why that is. Maybe you get so good at taming that you kind of sometimes you don't need the collar. Maybe I'm just trying to make up some role-playing reasons for these decisions. But anyway, it's a bit convoluted. It all is. But, that's fine. That's just how it is. If I want to do taming, this is what I've got to do. So they're the two items that you need. And I'm going to go through how you make them, essentially. We'll go through all of the resources that you need. So first of all, you need metal bindings. So if I go to, I think metal bindings, is it a smelting recipe? I'm not sure. Components. Because it's not actually, it's called metal binding, but it's not iron ingot. No. Oh, materials, no. Okay. So let's try blacksmithing. Shape. Iron binding. Okay, here we go. So these, this is the stuff that's required for to make the collar. So metal binding. So the first issue I had, and I had the same issue with straps as well, is that it calls it metal binding, and I was like, okay. So I was trying to find metal binding recipes. I couldn't, basically. And then it clicked that there's different types of metals. So you can make iron bindings, copper bindings, etc. For okay, fair enough. You know, I've made a bit of a cock up there. Newbie mistake. So the first thing is iron binding. So to make iron bindings, it's iron ingot and a chunk of coal. Chunk of coals you buy from the vendor. I'm in Owl's Head, and I'm at the well, just across the road to me is the I guess it's a crafting area, and there's a merchant there you buy coal from. Iron ingots come from mining iron ore and then turning them into ingots, essentially. I think that would probably be on. Let's go back to. Is it smelting? Possibly. Let's check. Copper ingot. Yeah, iron ingots. Yeah. So iron ore. You need an ingot mould, which you can. You need more coal. An ingot mould, which you can buy from the merchant again. So yeah, so you can go mine ore. I went and mine some ore, but what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to make a mass of collars and necklaces. It's difficult to know which you need more of. You need, I'm guessing you need one necklace per animal, but at some point collars, you know, you may get a collar back, basically. So I think ultimately you may need more necklaces, but I'll maybe keep it pretty even at the start and see how it goes. So metal bindings are your first item that you need, and that's how you make them. Let's go back to the next thing is straps. So again, I had a similar issue because it's made from a cloth of some type of material, and I was just looking for a strap recipe. Unfortunately, actually, let's go back to metal bindings. Actually, just quickly, blacksmithing. It's just terribly laid out. This everything's terribly laid out. The whole UI and the menus and stuff just need to be changed completely. But there you go. I won't moan. So yeah, so iron binding. This is available from the Blacksmith in Owl's Head. So apparently you're supposed to be able to craft it just by dropping the resources into the window here. But that didn't happen for me. So when I put an ingot and a chunk of coal in, I couldn't craft the binding. It wouldn't let me do that. So I actually went and bought the recipe and just learnt it. And it's from the Blacksmith in Owl's Head. So if you're in Owl's Head, that's fine. The collar and the necklace recipes, I'll talk about those in a minute. But I'm trying not to get sidetracked here and do things in an order that kind of makes sense. You know, it's not a disaster. So straps had the same problem. So I had lots of leather, so I made leather straps basically. Let's see if I can find those. Leather bowstring. No. Okay. Textiles. It's not tanning, I don't think. Sorry, I'm floundering here partly because the menu is just rubbish. Here we go. Leather straps is under tanning. So for leather straps, you need some leather and some curing salt. Pretty easy. Just go out, get some animal hides. You turn that into leather, and then you use the leather to create the leather straps. So again, the mistake I made initially was I was looking for a straps recipe, and I realised that it's got to be cloth straps or leather straps or whatever. So I went to the tailor in Owl's Head again and bought leather straps. That's how you make the straps. Silver ingots, thankfully, are easy. Okay, no problems with the silver ingots. They are, you just go and mine silver ore or buy it, and you can turn them into ingots at a smelting station. Basically, that's it. So that's the collars dealt with. So the necklaces are next. So animal whistle. animal whistle is, I think it's carpentry. Let's check. Because this was, the animal whistle was a bit of a pain in the neck. Here we go, animal whistles. So you need a wooden pole and a wooden rasp. Wooden rasps you buy from the merchant, basically. So just do that. Let's go back to the beginning. Wooden poles require milling. I think they're milling wooden poles. You can see what a bloody nightmare this is. Or maple pole. So again, you know, I kind of realised at this point there isn't just a wood pole recipe. It needs to be a maple pole or a pine pole or whatever it may be, whatever wood you're using. So I made maple poles, maple timber and wax. Maple timber you get from chopping wood or buying wood, turning it into timber, using it with wax, and you get your pole essentially. And that was pretty straightforward. The recipe for a maple pole, again, you will find it in Owl's Head. It's basically in the carpenter's shop, obviously. That's where you'll find that one. Carpentry. Let's see if we can go back to. Holy smoke! These recipes not even in alphabetical order. Animal whistle. Okay, yeah. So you made your wooden poles. You buy your wooden rasps. You make animal whistles. And then silver ingots again. It's the same as it was for the collars. So I'll make one of each. Let's make one of each. Let's make sure it works. Okay, so we've made a taming collar, and let's make a necklace. And we've made a necklace. There you go. That's basically it. So that's what you need: taming collars and taming collars and taming necklace. Taming necklace added to inventory. Okay, where's the taming necklace? It's not here. Let's have a search. Okay. Oh, it's actually okay. Sorry, it's still in the thing. Again, another newbie mistake. So yeah, we've made a necklace and a collar. I think recently they've tried to make taming a bit easier. I think you can get. Let me just have a quick check. So I do need to just let you know where the. I'm just checking something here. I'll be with you in a sec. Yeah, you can actually, rather than making necklaces, you can buy a less powerful one to get you started, called a wooden taming necklace. I think you still need the collars though, so I think they've changed the recipe for the collar, so it's a bit more straightforward, but you still need to make them or buy them, so there is still a bit of an investment to start taming, and it's probably not something that a new player is going to be able to do, but one thing I need to add is the taming collar and the taming necklace recipes. You will find them if you go to Ardoris. If you go to you kind of got like the marketplace in one of the buildings. There's a merchant called Doris. So go and find Doris, and she's got those two recipes. So yeah, that's basically covering how you make them, and I'm how you make the equipment you need. And I'm currently they're made at the alchemy table. So yeah, that's basically where you make them. You do need I'm not sure what the level is, but you do need I think you might need 30ish in alchemy, but that's easy to get really. Just make some health potions, make some health potions basically, and that'll get yourself up pretty easily. The health potions here, this is what I use. I just made a few health potions. They don't cost too much. Yeah, that was it really. So for the metal bindings you need, it's very low level to make those. Straps, it's very low level. The wood for your animal whistles is very low level crafting as well. So I had to do a bit of running around and a bit of research and a bit of experimentation, but I've kind of got to that point where I've got what I need, or I'm capable of making the stuff that I need. And it's just a case of, you know, when you want to make more, making your wood to make your whistles and blah blah blah. It's, you know, I just think that, I mean, you can buy the collars and the whistles from someone, but as I said, that there is then a kind of a wall, but like a gold wall behind which you need to overcome to be able to buy those things. So yeah, anyway, this has been a beginner's guide, or a taming from scratch kind of series that's coming up. As you can see, I've really done nothing. So I will. The next video will be what I need to do is look for places where I can do my taming, basically, to raise it up. So I'll be looking for places where I can do that 10 taming. You know, I can probably do it on the chickens and stuff here, actually. So maybe we'll give that a go. But this video has just been about the resources and the tools or equipment that you need. The next video we'll start taming. Yeah, thanks for watching.